I just heard a little story and it's powerful, so I'm hoping I won't butcher it to retell it because I really need some people to reflect on this. So it's a story about like a CIA community experiment, right? So they had like 17 undercover agents and they brought a civilian off the street and they said they were doing some sort of like test or something, right? And so this person, the civilian, the odd one out, right, thought that the rest of the people, that all the 18 people were just random strangers as well, all civilians. They didn't know that it was, they were all undercover agents. And so the instructor or whatever comes out and they hold up a piece of paper that has a square on it. And they say, okay, I'm going to go around the room one at a time. Everybody voice to me what's on this paper. So the 17 agents all go along in that and they say, it's a triangle. It's a triangle. It's a triangle. But it was a square. So, you know, we learn our shapes in like preschool, right? And I'm assuming that, you know, you would think that when they get to the 18th person who's probably like, are these guys all fucking retarded? But you know what would happen? You guys take a guess on what that 18th person said. Triangle. Seriously. I bet you they could have ran that experiment 10 times and probably 9 or 10 out of 10 times that person said, it's a triangle. It was a square, right? And so you're probably sitting there thinking, well, that's dumb. Why didn't they just say that? But I actually want you to reflect for a second. And because nobody's watching you, I'm not asking you guys to do a test, or could leave it in the comments. I mean, if you want to, you can. But you would have said, if you would have said square, and so many people would have, or sorry, triangle when it was a square, really think about why you do that. Never met any of these people before. Even if you had, even if it was your 17 best friends. Wouldn't you want to help them, you know, or tell the truth? Like, what good is it benefiting anybody to just conform when things are very evidently not true, you know? And that is exactly how, once they went through the disassociation of every single person in society, we were left with people that will look at a frickin' square, hear everybody else say triangle, judge probably, go through what we learned that stuff in preschool in their heads, right? But then spit out triangle. I just said square. And so would the lady that I stole this story from. And many of you beautiful souls. But I know there are many people watching this that would have said triangle and who, as you listen to me right now, aren't able to admit that to yourself. It's my hopes that this story helps you crack yourself open a little bit and ask yourself why you're living that way. Just because they all say something and you know that that something is something else, you should say that because you know that that's true. Why are you selling yourself short and selling out? Love you guys.